Hi everyone, it's Darlene. Welcome back for another card video. Today I thought I'd get another bird card in for the challenge. I'm using the Birthday Chicks set by My Favorite Things. I have the Stitched Arch Stack by My Favorite Things as well, and then the Mama Elephant Femme frames. I'm going to stamp all my chicks in Memento Tuxedo Black ink on Neenah Solar White paper all at the same time. There are so many different chicks in this set, which is why I thought it was pretty versatile. And I'm going to color all of these chicks the same way. So the first one I'm going to do in real time so you can see how I'm doing it here. I'm using my Y17 first, drawing an outline around the bird. And then I'm going to take Y15 and notice that I'm coloring over the Y17 and pulling it toward the middle. So I'm especially focusing on the edge of the Y17. Add a little bit to the wings. And then I'm going to finish off with the Y11. Now there's a pretty big difference between the Y11 and the Y15. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to push my Y11 all the way to the edge of the chick. And I find that this really helps to make sure that all of your colors are blending. And once I get all of these chicks done, I'm going to go back and do one more thing, and I'll show you that in a second. So I'm going to fast forward quite a bit with the rest of these because I'm coloring them all the same way. While I'm coloring these chicks, I thought I'd take an opportunity to talk about Copic markers a little bit. A lot of people ask me where to start. There is a Copic section in the My Favorite Things page on the site, and I'll link to it in this blog post. In this section, I have samples of my favorite 3-color combinations. So you could take a look at that and see which ones appeal to you and start with those. I also have my Copic marker chart that shows all the colors that I have. And last year when Courtney was saying that she was bored, I asked her to go through all of my blog posts from 2016 and mark each Copic marker that I used. So the chart shows a number next to each marker, and that's how many times I used that marker in 2016. I thought that also would be really helpful in deciding what colors to buy. If I did not have Copic markers and I wanted to color these chicks, I think my second choice would be stamping them on watercolor paper and coloring them with Inktense pencils or even with distress markers. Okay, so here's my last step. You can see I'm taking my Y11 and I'm just going over it one more time, and I really think that this makes a difference in blending the colors together. Next, I'm going to work on the balloon. I'm going to color my RV14 in a thick line on the left and a thin line on the right. And then I'll move in with my RV13 and then finally finish off with a really light color RV10. Now I'm going to take that middle color out, and I'm using 2 markers each for all these hats. So what I'm going to do is color the left side of the hat with a dark color. So here I am coloring this little teeny tiny hat. And then I'll blend that out and finish it all the way to the edge with the light marker. I'm going to whip through these pretty quickly. For blue, I've got B02 and B05. For green, G09 and then YG06. And for the red, sorry, that's upside down, R29 and R22. And then finally, I've got a purple hat. This one is V17 for the dark and V12 for the light. There are dies for these stamps, but I generally don't buy coordinating dies. I just cut them out myself. So here they are all cut out, and I'm going to color the beaks. And the reason why I waited to color the beaks is because I was fearful that it would bleed into the yellow if it was still wet. Also notice that I cut off the feet and the pom-poms of the hat for all the birds that are going to be on the blue area. So here's my soft sky paper and my Mama Elephant Femme frame. I'm going to cut that out. And then I'll center my sentiment at the bottom here. I'm going to ink it up with some VersaFine Black Onyx ink. It's my favorite sentiment ink because it's really dark and really crisp. Now I want to cut my window out in the center of this card. And to do that perfectly, what I'm going to do is measure the center point of my arch, and I'm going to mark it with a Sharpie directly on the die. Then I'll mark the center of my panel right there, and then all I have to do is line up those 2 marks, and then I know that I'm in the center. Now I put this a little bit too low, I think, because I forgot that the bird's wings were going to hang over a little bit. But anyway, I just went with it. So I just ran that through the Big Shot, and I also cut a white one because the stitching is on the inside of this arch. I put Scotch foam on the back of the soft sky piece and put it onto a Neenah Solar White card base. And I really wanted that stitching, so I put some Tombow Mono Multi Glue on the back of this Nina piece, and then I put glue instead of tape runner so that I would be able to wiggle it around a little bit and make sure it was perfectly positioned. So the blue is raised up and the Nina is against the card base, flat against the card base. Okay, so it's time to adhere my chicks. I'm going to use dimensionals on the chick that's in the window, and I'm going to add a little bit of 2A glue and place it right there leaning over the edge of the window. And then for the rest of these, I just place them, and each one by one. I'll pick them up and put some 2A glue on the back and then place them on the card with my EK Tools tweezers. Next, I'm going to take a very thin marker. This is a 0.05 Copic multiliner. I'll just draw the line of the balloon. I thought it'd be easier than stamping it. And then I also put a little bit on top of the bird wing so it looked like he was holding it. And remember, I cut off the feet and I cut off the pom-poms. And the reason I did that is because when you cut around it, you have all these white areas that you can see. Now, it didn't really matter for the bird that's in the window because it just blended right in the back, so I didn't worry about cutting those off. But for the ones that are against the blue, I went ahead and cut them off, and now I'm adding everything back, and I'm just following the images that are on the stamp set and putting them back on. And that is the card for today. So super cute set, Birthday Chicks by My Favorite Things. I hope you enjoyed that, and I will see you next time. Thanks for watching.